Hey, turn around, look at me.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can't make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
Hey, boys.
I always knew that I was different from a young age. Like, you know, I always knew there was something about me that just wasn't, like, normal per se. Like, I would look in the mirror and sometimes wonder, like, you know, who am I? What am I supposed to be? What am I going to do when I grow up? And I would literally, like, ask myself this question. Like, I would, like, it got to, like, a deep level and I'd be like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And I would just not like the answer. Like, I would just get so scared. Because, like, I didn't know who I was. I was so lost as a child that it was so weird. And, like, I put on this kind of persona that everyone thought that, you know, I was bubbly, I was lovely, but, like, you know, deep down I had some, like, stuff going on that, like, you know, I didn't really kind of understand, and I still don't.
Oops. Oh, dear. When you were born, and you were my firstborn, the birth was very, very traumatic.
Oh, you nearly got that one, didn't you?
So I think to actually have a live baby at the end of it was the main thing, was all that I was thinking about at that time. Not that this little boy is going to have a family and, you know, be a banker or be a famous footballer or anything like that. It was just more that when you were born, I was just pleased to have you.
Ooh, loads of the...
I suppose there was no particular gender then. You just played whatever you wanted to play. Nobody assumed that you would play as a girl or play as a boy or do whatever.
Oh, it's good.
Well, I presumed it would be pretty normal, as normal boys stuff, playing football and cricket and messing around, and so I didn't think it would be any different from that.
Hey, turn around and wave.
Your childhood, let's see, at first I suppose it was pretty normal in certain respects. But you were quite effeminate because you did like Disney princess dresses, and there was a famous pair of clip-clop shoes which you wore until they were so small, your feet were so big, we had to hide them.
Where are you going? No. Come back here. Turn around.
And I think at the time I wouldn't say I was against it, but people just said, just let people explore what they need to explore, and and it will be a phase they go through apparently.
I would dress up a lot. I had these Bratz dolls that I was absolutely obsessed with. I would wear my mum's heels all the time. I feel so powerful in them. I'll be like strutting my stuff around the house.
Shall I run down to the end of the garden?
What's tea?
Okay, just a minute.
We used to do lots of... I don't know how to explain it.
Like pretend games.
Pretend games of teachers, and you'd always want to be the female teacher. Always get the teddies, always had to be a Mrs. something. Always had to be one of them.
Do you remember us like dressing up and stuff?
We'd always get in grandma and granddad's dress up boxes.
We always had dressing ups in the house, and you loved dressing up in long wigs and dresses and princess dresses, and you and your brother would dress up all the time.
I assumed from an early age, I had sort of an acceptance. I thought you might be gay, you know, even from an early age, even when you went to Glastonbury and your Auntie Vicky bought you the blue tutu, you didn't take that off for days either. I actually thought it might just be something that you'll right, fine, you put it on, let her go through it and she'll come out the end of that. But, you know, little did I know that you were trans.
Would memorise Disney videos and would always be, when reenacting the Disney videos, the princess from those videos.
We've been friends for forever. You're basically my sibling at this point, in like a weird kind of way. Like our families are like the same family kind of, and then like we're all just like the same now. Like because we've been friends since what, like reception.
Hello, guys. I am Kermit the Frog.
I would say you were very animated. Like it felt like you were always in like a, okay, this sounds weird, but like a YouTube state of mind, in the sense of like,
Hello, everybody.
you were just very like, woohoo, let's go guys, like, da-da-da-da. Like we were just, I don't know, it was just, you were very uplifting. I felt that's why I kind of valued as a friend so much, because even when like, not that I was sad as a child or anything like that, but like, maybe I wasn't having such a great day, like I could always rely on you to be like, let's go, like, not that you would say that, but like, you get the idea. You're just very, I don't know, very bubbly, and you always influence that on everyone else.
Please stop recording.
And like, oh my god, puberty was literally like my biggest fear. Like my utmost biggest fear when I was younger would be growing up and being like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a man one day. That was literally so scary to me.
I remember you saying that you didn't want to grow up to be an old man. You could never see yourself as an old man, but you could see yourself as an old woman. So I think that was quite a telling statement.
I remember when you first got diagnosed with ASD, and that's when you were 12, and when you'd finished with the psychiatrist, we obviously had a little chat with him afterwards, and he said at the time, don't be surprised if you would transition.
Really?
He said that at 12. So he could tell from your answers that you gave him at the age of 12, he said don't be surprised.
We're gonna be doing a vlog with you.
No, no.
Yes, we are.
My voice breaking was, I was such a recluse after that. Like it was so upsetting. Like I loved my voice and now it's like this. It's not fun.
You hated looking at yourself in the mirror, you hated your body, you disliked the way that you looked, and a lot of that was kept quite private, I think. But as a parent, you see these things, and I just wanted to take her to it. And I suppose I didn't know how you could do that.
And that's literally when I knew I was trans, was puberty. Completely. Like I struggled so much with the realization that, oh my god, like one day I'm going to be a man. And it's just, I cried my eyes out to that like so many times.
We weren't as ecstatic, and it felt, not that you were, well I mean, it kind of was that you were kind of unhappy, but obviously I didn't know what it was in any way.
Oh my gosh, high school gave me so much trauma that it's literally, like, it's unreal.
As far as I can tell, it was torturous. It was hell, especially the beginning of high school. Near the end, you had a couple of nice friends, but in the beginning, it was hell.
It was very, very difficult. The first couple of years at high school were horrible. Sorry.
Boys would pick on me for not being like normal and for not liking things that they did, or like going and playing football and stuff like this.
Could tell straight away when I was in year 7, just different from everyone else at school, I guess.
And because people were like, I don't know, saw you as different, so they were like, not very nice about it.
I remember there was a lot of bullying that took place from all sorts, and it was very hard to watch that and see you go through that.
And like I would always try and hang out with the girls, and they'd be like, no, go make friends with the boys. And like even my mum would say that, and I would be like, oh, guess I gotta go make friends with the boys. And then eventually I did, and you know, I made friends with these boys, and you know, let's just say they were the wrong people to come out to when I kind of finally realised stuff myself. You know, they spread it around the school, and I was constantly asked, you know, what's your gender, what toilet do you use, all this kind of stuff that you just wouldn't expect as like a 15-year-old just living your life, do you know what I mean? And like I'd just be sat there in lesson trying to do my work, and people would like hurl slurs at me and all this kind of stuff.
In high school you were kind of shut away, I'd say, a bit more in your room, and you didn't really come down a lot with when mum had friends around.
I did try and find who I was, and I really struggled with that for a while. Like I didn't like have the ability to, because everyone was being so negative to me, that I was like, wait, maybe I'm not even trans, maybe I'm not even this, like I don't know what I am, don't believe me. That's kind of the attitude I went into. But my friends have literally always been there. Naomi and Lucy would like always back me up and stuff if we were in lesson together, or like in the corridors or hanging out together, and someone said something, they'd be like have my back the whole way.
I can't actually remember the day that Dani came out to me. I can't remember it was actually, you know, a Monday or a Tuesday, or what day it was, or whether we were eating dinner or when, because I think it was quite a long transition process to that point anyway, from being non-binary at school, and I can remember going in and talking to school about how they would cope and deal with that situation.
And I went in with my mum, and we were like, you know, I'm not a boy, I don't want to use the boys' toilets, I don't want to be, you know, called by this and stuff. And like he was so understanding about it, and he was like, you know, go use this toilets and stuff. And then he let me go into the girls' PE as well, and I remember that was such a big deal, and all these girls were making like so much comments and stuff like, why are you here, but like it was such a relief when I finally just, you know, had fun. And like I literally, for my last year at high school, I got to finally enjoy PE and just, you know, just vibe, because before that I was so scared about what all the boys would think, and they would always tease me and call me names and stuff.
Like, because I had an idea, I thought you might be homosexual or gay, well, you know, you had female tendencies anyway. Yes, it was quite hard. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say it was easy, that you transition, it's not an easy thing. It's probably harder for you than it is for me, but the bottom line is, it's not my life, it's yours, and as long as you're happy, I will support you.
I don't remember an actual day of Dani saying to me, I want to be a girl. It just kind of seemed to move along to that place.
And like, I don't know, it's just such a weird experience to like not have your body line up with what your mind is. Like my mind has always been a girl and always has been.
And I think I've said it to you, but you know, I've always wanted a daughter. And so now I have a daughter, and it's wonderful.
It's such a weird out of body experience that's like you're out of your body but you're like in your body, like you feel everything, but like you're like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. It's just like, it's kind of crazy. Did you suspect I was trans before I told anyone?
No.
Why not?
Well, you can't judge someone, can you?
When I came up to my friends, it was kind of through like a deep chat of sorts. Like I remember we always used to have these deep chats lying down on my trampoline in my garden, and we just lie there and just talk about all our lives and what's gone on and everything deep that's happened and stuff. And like I would just say to them, I'd be like, you know, I'm not comfortable, whatever. Like it took me a long time to actually sit there and say that, but when I finally did, it was so relieving. Like I remember I sat down with Lucy on this bench one day, and I was like, you know, I really don't want to grow up and be a man. And like, that was the realization point. That was when I was like, wait, but what if I grew up as a woman? And like, that never dawned on me before, that like, I could grow up and be a woman. And it was such a like, oh, you know, I am trans. Like, I definitely am. People can deny it and call me all these names and stuff, but like, I definitely am. Like, that was my realization point.
You're still you. It doesn't change anything. It's just the fact that you know, thought I was valuable enough to have this information that made you so vulnerable and was like such an important part of your life. It was quite like, like, it was a good thing. Also, it was good that you felt like you could express yourself to like a lot of people.
In year 10, changed your hair, wore makeup.
I wish I could do my makeup the way you could do your makeup, because you always look stunning.
Like, my coming out, like, was quite a while ago now, but it wasn't really a coming out. It was more just like a mental breakdown, like kind of an argument. And I was just like to my mum, I was like, no, I don't want to be a man. Don't let me grow up and be a man. Like, I need help.
We were away on holiday in Cornwall. And I remember that it hit the fan. That holiday, you really got very, very, very upset. And I remember having a very long conversation with the receptionist at the GP's, saying that we needed to see somebody as soon as possible.
She took me to the doctors. We phoned them up and they said, oh, you know, we've got an appointment. This was like during the summer, and then we had an appointment after. And we went in there and he sat me down and like, we talked things through, and he was like, you know, is this you, whatever. We had a conversation with my mum, my dad, and kind of went through like my history and stuff, just to like kind of check stuff. And then he sent off a referral to the NHS Tavistock clinic, and, you know, kind of got the ball rolling from there.
They send a letter, you get referred to the Tavistock, but then the waiting list for that is so long that is where the problems lie, is the wait that you know, 3.5 years already of waiting to get the hormones. So we made the choice to go privately because that is what you needed.
Like, I remember the first blocker that I had like an argument with my mum in the car because it was so expensive the first time that we got it. And I had no money to pay. Like, I'd just started my new job as like a couple months before, and like I didn't have much money, and like, you know, neither did she, and we were trying to afford this, and you know, it was a whole thing. But it was like, I remember we hugged it out, and it was the cutest thing ever.
The first injection was nerve-wracking for me, so I dread to think how nerve-wracking it was for you, going and sitting and waiting to just have those blocked. The pain of it is just not something you want to put your child through. When
we sought private treatment in the end, I kind of got it, and I've been on hormones for, like, you know, as of filming this, like 7 months now. 8 months, going on 8 months. It's been a while. It's so lovely to see it all coming good. It is difficult to understand, and I don't think, unless you are in that skin yourself, you can never understand the journey that somebody is going through and what is going on internally.
I'm a neurotypical male brought up in South Africa where, you know, homosexuality when I was brought up was illegal, so they never spoke about anything regardless of homosexuality, trans or anything like that. So until you're actually going through it, until your child starts going through it, do you actually start to understand it? Whereas before, no, I had no understanding.
Welcome back to my channel. And like, I had this time in my life when I was such a recluse, when I literally, like, people would make fun of me for, like, you know, I started YouTube at one point and I was like, you know what, let me express myself. I don't care what people think. I'm gonna start this YouTube channel. I'm gonna like start my makeup life. I've like delved into my mum's products for long enough. I'm gonna start my YouTube career. And you know, I really enjoyed it, but people bullied me so much, and I was such a recluse in school. I would just sit there and be like, do my work, because I couldn't express myself properly. Like, I just really struggled with that.
Even when you were at in your hardest times at school, you were still making YouTube videos.
I used to be in some of your videos. We'd do challenges.
So guys, we want to thank you all so much for watching, don't we, Jazz?
Look, I just flipping broke my hand.
I remember this one video that I did that was called The Hate Is Getting to Me. I think it's still up on my YouTube channel. But the amount of vile things that people said to me in those comments that people thought that they could just say out loud, just like on the internet under my YouTube channel that I wouldn't see. Just to like get hate off their chest, I guess, I don't know. But like people would say that kind of stuff, like to me in person, like, you know, if people can post that on the internet, they've definitely said it to me in person, or like, you know, worse.
It's never easy to see somebody getting treated the way that you were getting treated. I've got to be honest, the way you responded to them was good though. You just threw it straight back at them. And I think that's the way you have to be. You have to be a little bit thick-skinned and just go, do you know what? Because there are people out there which are going to be like that always, regardless. So those are the people, you just ignore those and just speak to the people that you do like.
So my new name was just kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of a realisation moment, like same as everything else. I kind of just one day was like, oh, you know, Danielle, that's the name I want to go with. Like it kind of was similar to my old name and people would call me Daniel and stuff. I don't know how they got it confused, but I guess they did somehow, and I kind of went with that in the end. It's kind of stuck ever since, and I kind of texted my friends one day, I was like, you know, this is my new name if you're cool with that, and like they all called me that. It stuck pretty easily. Everyone was super nice about it.
I think you just messaged us saying you'd like to try going by the name Danielle now, and could we refer to you as Danielle? And so I remember the first thing I did was I changed your contact name to Danielle, so that whenever you text me, I'd remember. So I'd be like, so it'd be fine. But it stuck pretty quickly anyway, it's not like it took ages.
It was surprisingly easy to do the legal stuff. Like we had to send off a deed poll, get a deed poll done.
I had a friend who was a solicitor who drew up a deed poll.
To change my name, and then I just got a letter from my doctor as well.
Saying that you were on the waiting list and that they had spoken to you, and we sent that with your passport application.
Then I got a female passport with my new photo and, you know, my new name a couple months later, and here we are.
Starting on hormones, you seem so much happier, easier to talk, you smile a lot more, you're blossoming into a wonderful person and a lovely woman.
I think you can explore things a bit now. It is going to suit you better, and yes, I think you are free, and you will be a freer soul because you're going to meet more people who are probably going through the same or similar things.
Yes, it was hard to see you going through because I'm not going through it, so I don't know what it's like.
I'm extremely proud of how far you've come, and you should be too.
I've always been proud of you, always, in everything that you've ever done. God, my eyes are leaking again.
You know, bottom line is, as long as you're happy and people who love you and I love you, as long as you have all of that, Dani, you'll be supported.
I'm so proud that this person that started secondary school, insecure, bullied, having a horrendous time, to the person that you are now, with the friendship groups that you have and everyone that supports you. You are so lucky to have them all in your life.
And I'm super proud, and I'm sure you'll do really, really well.
It cannot be easy. I'm not in your skin, so I can't even begin to know how you're feeling. And yeah, I'm definitely proud that you can stand up and be who you are and not hide, and that you feel confident to be able to share that with the world and walk out the door. I think you're wonderful. I think you're amazing.
Last night I smoked a cigarette.
It is time to get ready for prom. This is like a chance for me to just show the real version of myself and kind of finally be me and be free. This look is really important to me because it demonstrates my journey and, you know, how far I've come. I feel so empowered whenever I wear makeup, and being able to finally express myself and finally have people accept me for who I am is something I'm really grateful for.
What's up, vlog?
I think it's time to put my prom dress on. In 10 years, I want to be so much happier. Like, I want to have a life. Like, when I originally went to the NHS about, you know, freezing my sperm, because obviously hormone replacement therapy will deplete your sperm count. You know, they said no to freezing my sperm, so, you know, I can't have genetic kids. But, you know, hopefully I'll adopt a family, I'll have a boyfriend one day. You know, I'll have a thriving career, and I really want to get the operation, like, so bad, like, the operation. I want to be so much happier than I am. I feel like I'm getting a lot happier, but I want to be at an even better place.
So